Okay, guys, look, it's Charlie D'Amelio. Wow, it's called when pretty privilege fails you. I wonder if their show is still going on. The D'Amelios. How do you spell D'Amelio? I'll look this up as we start the video. This is from Zoe Unlimited. Let's watch it.
How far can pretty privilege get you?
TikTok star.
Last time I checked, she was doing decently well. Honestly, you know, they have like a show, so.
Charlie D'Amelio. Charlie D'Amelio. Charlie D'Amelio. Charlie D'Amelio.
I was like, that's it, I'm famous.
Oh, it ran for. Oh, it's not returning for a 4th season. Dang, I can't believe it, guys. Only 3 seasons.
Don't talk to me. Guys, it's Charlie, and I'm super excited to be sharing with you my first ever YouTube video on my YouTube channel.
My wife and I watched the D'Amelio show a little bit. It wasn't too bad. Her sister, Dixie, is insane. Charlie seems like a normal kid that just kind of wants like a somewhat normal life. So she doesn't seem to be too upset about losing popularity. Dixie D'Amelio seems to be going through a mental breakdown because her younger sister's more successful than her. And then she tried to make a song and it was so bad. It was really bad. It was fucking horrible.
If there was one person who saved the universe in their past life, it must be Charlie D'Amelio because she was dealt with everything anyone could ever ask to be successful. A virally beautiful face and body, every opportunity in Hollywood, commercial, okay boomer, top talent agency in the industry, a book deal, a reality TV show.
I remember the book deal. That one annoying guy that went after Ethan Klein complained because he took some pictures. And then he got credit for it, and then he complained about it.
A TV show, a clothing line, a makeup line, a record deal. But somehow, there is still a way to mess everything up.
Just to be clear.
A record deal. But somehow, there is...
This whole situation was completely overblown, like crybaby cringe mode. I remember this, because like, I fucking do stupid drama bullshit reactions a lot. And in this instance, they were throwing up because the chef put snails in the food, and like the dad asked them to do it as like kind of like a silly little prank for the show, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, this is so disrespectful for the chef." Blah blah. It was like, you guys are fucking thinking too deeply into it. Thank you for the $20 from Lee. I appreciate that. Hey Papa, always love watching you live. Hope all is well with you, brother. Keep making funny and informative content. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love you. Wow.
Still a way to mess everything up.
Just really need to admit this to you guys. I actually do have nipples, and
nipples?
I mean, that's really like that's all that I can say about this right now.
So
she's nipples?
I actually do have nipples, and
I have no idea what's happening here.
I mean, that's really like that's all that I can say about this right now.
So how did the D'Amelio screw up more than $32 million worth of pretty privilege?
I don't really think they screwed anything up. I think that for the most part, they kind of ran their course. I mean, how far could they really go? There was never really anything there in the first place. I think Charlie just liked to dance, and then she got popular dancing, and then
in 2001, a man parked his...
Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to look something up, dude. But, I hope I spelled that right. Yeah, I don't know if it's like that deep. I don't think they screwed anything up. Everybody has their kind of rise and fall. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is happening, Charlie? What are you doing? Oh my god, she's a whore. Sorry, that was inappropriate. I guess she's going through that weird phase where she gets more... When they get older, they do some weird shit. Okay, oh, she still has advertising. Yeah, okay, whatever.
That's exactly the mystery we're going to uncover today. But not only that, as your marketing bestie, who graduated top 1% UCLA business...
It seems like she's doing decently. Like a day ago, 2 days ago. Yeah, she's posting like once a day on average. Some of these are multiple times a day. Yeah, it seems like she's doing fine. I don't know. It doesn't seem that deep, but okay. Thank you for the 16-month small god from Bing and Bong. Nipple. Thank you, brother.
This economics with a background in marketing. We are going to explore how pretty privilege can still fail you if you have a terrible brand, and how you, yes you, no matter if you have pretty privilege or not, can build a successful brand to help you down your career. And by brand, I don't just mean slapping your name or face on a t-shirt. Branding is about how you're...
Well, I mean, that wasn't really slapping her name on a t-shirt. That was literally her
to help you down your career. And by brand, I don't just mean slapping your name
That was her Dunkin' Donuts drink. I mean, in general, people fell off pretty substantially after COVID. Charlie was no different. She maintained more than anybody else.
or face on a t-shirt. Branding is about how your future college, future boss, future boyfriend sees you. And I'm creating this series to analyze celebrities from a marketing perspective because many of whom do not recognize the power of influence they have over a generation of young girls.
But not young boys. Now I'm sure a bunch of young boys were doing some wild shit with her videos. Charli D'Amelio caught drunk? Who cares?
I really don't want to work anymore.
She's fucking... I hate Dixie so much. She sucks.
And I think it's so important
She's so annoying.
to be aware and reflective of the people who are shaping our culture. And despite how terribly
Yeah, Charlie's rise to fame was genuinely crazy, though. She gained like 100 million in 2 years. I think she gained 100 million in almost a year and then like a little bit of change. I remember one thing people melted down about was that she's like, oh man, it would have been really cool if I hit 100 million before my 1 year. And people were like, I think James Charles actually made fun of her because he was like with her. She's like, oh, is it not enough what you have? But then people sensationalized it and acted like she was acting entitled. When it was just an offhanded comment.
the D'Amelio franchise flopped, we will also talk about how they could come back from the lack of brand and the
Probably not. I don't think that there's really much they could do.
hate they always cry about.
I'm upset because I haven't been in any drama.
First, we need
Okay.
to understand how the D'Amelios had every single chance to build a billion-dollar empire. Charli D'Amelio, for those who have never heard of a
What do you, I honestly don't think that any of this is true. This just seems like a weird hate video on Charli D'Amelio. This is what Charli is. She's like a reasonably conventionally attractive young girl on TikTok that other girls wish they were. COVID happened, she skyrocketed, and then things have been tapering off ever since then. She doesn't really have a profound personality. I don't really think that there was anything that was going to maintain with her brand. And then also, like, I've watched the D'Amelio show with my wife a little bit. She doesn't really necessarily seem like she cares to be very famous. So I don't really know. I don't really know. I don't know if I agree with the idea that pretty privilege fails you. It seems like she just didn't care anymore. I don't really think it's that deep. You know, as I've said this before with like Sunny V2 videos, just because somebody makes less money now doesn't mean that they are doing worse off, especially if you've collected the bag. You know, I imagine it's stressful to be a popular content creator. You're still privileged as fuck, but it's stressful to be constantly in like the limelight. So it might be nice to not necessarily do that. She was just white girl dancing. She got really popular. She got a TV show, and then that run ended, and now she's tapered down. And I think that's normal. That's the ebb and flow of any business. I don't think that I don't know if she'd ever necessarily had the capacity to be explosive. I don't think there's anything to really capitalize on. I think this is really just like an overthought video that's kind of like subtextually just trying to shit on Charli D'Amelio a little bit, but maybe I'm thinking too deep into it.
small app called TikTok, good for you, is a Connecticut high schooler who is not a Nepo baby, an Instagram heiress, or a
Bro, what are you talking about? Her dad made some money. She's a little bit of a Nepo baby. Not like a super one, but like they do well. You know what I mean? It's like those things where people, you know, if your parents start off well, you're going to have the higher potential to like boost up. So like, absolutely. You know what I mean?
self-made artist. She started creating
Like,
dance
I think she does have some formal dance training or whatever when she was making these TikToks, all that other stuff.
videos on TikTok in 2019 that quickly broke the platform and the Guinness World Record as the first person with 50 million followers on TikTok in April 2020 and 100 million in November 2020. The entire internet and Charli herself was dumbfounded by the success because while Charli was a dancer, many have claimed her dances to be mediocre. Sure,
Yeah, that's kind of the point. If everybody could do your dances for TikTok, it makes them want to do the dances and boost your popularity. It's attainable. It's like Bella from Twilight. It's an attainable looking person. That's Charlie's somewhat attainable looking. Other girls be like, I could be like her. You know? It's like her dad was a politician. I think he's like a fucking conservative. He's like a weird guy.
surely it can't be that people are shallow and that the TikTok algorithm prefers a pretty face, right? Not
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Yes. I mean, you could argue something similar about your content as well. I mean, she's reasonably attractive, conventionally attractive. Yeah, that's part of it. Why do you think I do so well, guys? I'm fucking hot, you know?
possible at all. Of course, Renegade became the Charlie D'Amelio dance because she did it so much better than the original choreographer. And of course, the reason Dixie D'Amelio, Charlie's sister, began blowing up too was that her natural talents blew the platform away. All in all,
Genuinely, Dixie's fucking. I fucking hate her.
some people are born on the right side of the beauty algorithm and beauty
Sure.
standard, and they should embrace it. But as the sisters are dealing with this life-changing fame, which in this day means power, which means money, their parents and new team saw
Wait, was that her mom?
life-changing fame, which in this day means power, which means money. Their parents
Wow. Okay.
and new team saw a pot of gold. How exciting.
Cool.
There is so much possibility when the hype is only rising for the girls. They were seen as the model citizens of TikTok and basically had the attention of every teenage girl in the nation. There was so much potential here for them to grow into the icons and role models for the next generation of young girls. But no.
Okay.
The D'Amelio parents said, heck, we are the new Kardashians. And if you're the Kardashians, then being hot is all you need to build a successful business, right?
I really don't understand the Kardashian show. I really don't understand why people watch that fucking dumpster fire. It's terrible. I legitimately fucking hate that show. My wife will watch it sometimes, and I just sit down and say, why are you watching this? I don't get it. Thank you for the $2 from Gelato GG. Papa has a real beef with Dixie. Bro, she's so obnoxious, dude. I fucking... she's terrible.
And so what happened next was a big, impressive list of business ventures. But if you take
I tried the Dunkin' Donuts coffee thing. It wasn't too bad.
a closer look, you'll start to realize that each is very mid, and that the team behind them is not just uncreative, but literally throwing random shit at the wall.
I have a genuine question. Is this person like a legitimate... Like, I understand they have a degree in marketing or something. Has she ever actually done marketing, or is it just like a degree that she uses to... as an appeal to authority? I just wonder.
And hoping that one would stick.
Wow.
So what this is it's a look at your 2021. This is the major things we're focusing on. So we have our partnerships. We have, the different companies you're working with, like, Ring Light.
I hate that I watched this live. Not live, but I... because my wife and I watched the show. I remember her being, like, annoyed that she was so busy. Like, she really doesn't seem like she wants to be famous necessarily.
And starting a clothing companies. So, and then you have books and TV shows.
The list is so big, we need to first look at physical products, and then
Also, I don't really think that Charli D'Amelio is a bad role model, to be honest with you. Realistically speaking, she's probably one of the better female role models. I mean, she got famous on TikTok young. She's never been in any meaningful controversy that's ever mattered. She's a normal kid for the most part. She's not like doing crazy shit for as much attention as possible. You see some creators do some wild shit. I don't see how Charlie's like, I'm not saying she's a good role model, but how is she a bad role model? Like, what's a better role model? Like, I don't, you know what I mean? She's just some fucking young kid that got popular on TikTok that doesn't necessarily care about being fucking famous and just wants to dance. She's not doing heroin. You know what I mean? I don't really see her as necessarily a bit. She's not as famous anymore. But I mean, what did you want her to do? Sell her soul for as much fucking fame as possible?
their digital appearances that led to the ultimate downfalls. From 2020 to 2023 alone, they had their makeup line with Morphe, not exactly a hit, then a collaboration
Okay.
drink with Dunkin' Donuts, a fragrance line, a nail polish collection, a mattress, a footwear brand, a skincare brand, a popcorn brand, where I don't know which creative genius idea it was
I don't know why they need to Be Happy. That's Dixie's terrible dog shit song. So
to tell the D'Amelios to dress up as Walmart employees in order to promote this relatable, fun brand. And all they did was to mock the working class where labor was only a fun activity for them.
I don't think it's that deep, but okay.
And being so incredibly talented while launching back to back to back to back to back
This woman's like a real hater. Holy shit. She really fucking hates it. She really fucking hates really hates Charli D'Amelio. Holy fuck.
businesses, Charli D'Amelio, of course, had the time to write a book in 2020 called
Yeah,
Essential
I think someone wrote it for her. It's mostly pictures.
Charli. The
I know this because Jake Doolittle is some other fucking annoying drama YouTuber who like melted down. I covered it. Melted down over this video, or excuse me, melted down over this book because he took pictures for her with the exchange, the trade-off. This was before she was super famous, I think, but the trade-off being like he'll get credits in it, and he was credited and everything, and then he started demanding money and had like a fucking crybaby shit fit.
The ultimate guide to keeping it real, which became a New York Times bestseller. If there was an award for launching
I
the
guess she did pretty good, I guess.
most number of unmemorable businesses, the D'Amelios probably would have won.
She's such a hater.
That's my laundry being finished. If I didn't tell you, you probably don't even know half of these brands existed, and some of them
Yeah.
deceased. Because honestly,
How many brands do you have? Or me? None. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, okay.
by the speed that these products were launched immediately,
Yeah. I used to like Jake Doolittle, but so much stuff happened. I didn't know that he was the one that did the photographer. Yeah, he was, dude. It's fucking crazy. I did like a video on my other account about it. It's fucking wild.
following the blow up, there is just no way that they were developed with care and passion from Charlie and Dixie.
Who gives a shit if the fucking this is what I'm talking about. What a stupid criticism. There's no way she developed these products with care and love. Who does? Truthfully, I don't. It's such a virtue signal to be like, you should have to make your products with care and love. Do you think Oreos were created with care and love? No, they were created with my hospital bill in mind, okay? I don't care if they decide to make a fucking popcorn and advertise it and try to make makeup, and I didn't buy it because I don't give a shit about those things. But it's such a pearl clutchy thing to complain about care and love. Like, nobody gives a shit, okay? This isn't like a fucking farmer.
These brands have no connection with them. Like, why shoes? Why popcorn? Why mattress?
Why not, I guess? Because they got paid for it.
It's just slapping.
If you want to make the argument that you think that she oversaturated herself and didn't create enough exclusivity, that's a fine marketing thing to criticize. Like, hey, it seemed a little ridiculous that she would take seemingly any brand that would approach her, because while it may have given her money in the short term, in the long term, it oversaturated her branding, and it could have removed like a level of necessary scarcity for products for people to actually feel like they wanted to purchase something. That's a reasonable argument to make. And maybe they'll make that argument. I guess we'll see. But the fact that they took brands or didn't have passion in what they made is irrelevant. Right? This is more of the perception of value when it comes out. If your argument is that it doesn't seem like they're passionate because they have so many different brands, that's fine. But it seems like you're a hater.
The D'Amelio label on a bunch of consumer goods that are very mid themselves.
D'Amelio footwear is recommended by doctors to treat broken ankles. Don't say you can't say that.
I don't care if you like the Kardashians or Hailey Bieber. Yes, they also launched and flopped brands, but the brands that we will remember and rave about are the brands that they care about and rave about themselves.
Well, it's just because they're more popular. Didn't you just criticize the Kardashians? Why are you jerking them off now?
Kim Kardashian is known for her iconic body. So what does she launch? Skims, a shapewear company that has quality products that could sell even on their own. Kylie Jenner, known for her lips, so Mama Chris got her to launch
Are her lips fake? I don't know.
Kylie Cosmetics. Hailey Bieber, the woman is constantly showing her glowy skin, and each launch is super creative.
It sounds like you were criticizing the Kardashians at first, and then just criticizing the D'Amelios for trying to be them, and now you're glazing the Kardashians.
Tied to her personally. Emma Chamberlain, vlogged with coffee for 4 years. It just makes so much sense.
Fuck is Emma Chamberlain?
You have a coffee company, and she has killer creatives. Alex Earl's merch, very
I have no idea who the fuck these people are.
on brand with her personality. The fact that you don't even know the name of the quote-unquote brands launched by the D'Amelios shows you how disconnected they are from these brands.
Yeah, or maybe they're just not. They don't have the same market potential as the Kardashians because they didn't leak sex tapes. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, that could be all it is.
And it is so funny to read Charli D'Amelio's brand inspiration.
Kylie Jenner's lipstick was a massive fail at first. That's funny. She also just released like Bratz dolls. My wife, I bought them for my wife, and now they're all on sale for like nothing. That's another. That's like, it's. I don't necessarily think that the brands they engaged with have anything to really do with person. I think that it really is that there's nothing. There's really Charli D'Amelio is not the type of person that can be popular because she doesn't insert herself into drama. At all, because it's frustrating sometimes to deal with like criticism. It's annoying as shit. I think that's all it is. I don't think that she's the type of person that's willing to do what it takes to be famous, and that's an okay thing. Funny enough, that would make her a better role model than Kylie Jenner. So
For the shoes as, quote, we are always in heels, we are walking carpets, we've done all the uncomfortable blister-filled shoes before. So it's been really nice to be able to look into our closets and see,
yeah, this is why you don't worship influencers. Yeah, I mean, that seems like this person does worship influencers.
what are we missing and what do we have that we can make better? Clearly, extremely relatable to their teenage girl fan base who walk in heels and go to carpets all day. And clearly, the dream shoes for the teenage boys who follow them because of their hotness.
I love you so much. We love you so much.
Bunch of broccoli heads. What the hell?
I love you, Charlie, to go.
It's crazy how their entire marketing team never gave a single thought to who the targeted demographic is, because it is not women in their 20s and 30s with actual purchasing power who will want to wear these hot pink or electric blue pumps to work, which is probably a hard concept for the
I'm not understanding. Why kids don't buy shoes?
Targeted demographic is because it is not women in their 20s and 30s with actual purchasing power who will want to wear these hot pink or electric blue pumps.
I truly am not understanding the criticism here. Okay, sorry. Who's selling the shoes?
The dream shoe extremely relatable to their teenage girl fan base who walk in heels and go to carpets all day. And clearly, the dream shoes for the teenage boys who follow them because of their hotness.
I love you so much. We love you.
Are you saying that she's selling the shoes?
The targeted demographic is because it is not women in their 20s and 30s with actual purchasing power who will want to wear these hot pink or electric blue pumps to work.
So I'm not the reason I'm confused is I don't understand the point that she's making. It sounds like what she's saying is that Charli D'Amelio is selling these shoes, but since 20 and 30-year-olds wouldn't want to buy these, they're unsuccessful because kids don't have purchasing power. But I don't know if you've ever been to a supermarket. Have you ever seen kids' toys? Kids have indirect purchasing power over everything. What are you talking about? There are entire lines of children's toys. And the point I'm making is that I don't know if these are nice shoes for a 16-year-old girl that likes Charli D'Amelio, but if a 16-year-old girl likes these shoes, she'll complain to her mother to buy or father to buy these until they buy them. So I'm not understanding the point of like, oh, did you know that teenagers don't have money? Yeah, they usually don't, but did you know that teenagers have parents that buy things for them? That's a pretty massive part of our market in general. So the shoes might be ugly as dog shit. I don't really fucking know. They might be overpriced, which that seems like more of an issue. But kids aren't wearing these heels. How do you know that? Why do you? The kids, kids think that they're adults all the time. If you think that a 14-year-old's not going to ask their mom and dad to buy something like this, that's really what it comes down to. The purchasing power argument is incorrect. The ugliness of the shoes, or the fact that kids wouldn't wear high heels, which I kind of doubt. Kids want to be adults, and high heels are seen as like adult shoes. But the fact that they're ugly is like a different. These are two different arguments. Kids have purchasing power; they have it through their parents. That's literally all it is. The shoes being ugly as shit, that might be a good argument. Not resonating with their fans, that might be a good argument. But kids have purchasing power. So I don't really get this argument here. Thank you for the $5 from Angie Tosi. This sounds a self-report. Why she isn't popular, even though she does all the right things. She's just jealous. I mean, that's probably true.
Which is probably a hard concept for the D'Amelio sisters to grasp because they never had to work a single day since they had enough money to do whatever they want since 17. And
probably. Okay.
at this point, it
I don't think that they're the one marketing the shoes.
is apparent that the main issue is the D'Amelios don't know why people follow them. And frankly, it is hard to answer that question.
Well, they have a whole marketing team. It's because nobody cares about Dixie. She's a conventionally attractive young TikToker person on a popular app that blew up during 2020, luckily, because people were home so much and it was supplying a beam of short form content into people's fucking brains. That's pretty much it.
As many still only know Charli D'Amelio as a famous TikToker who dances and not much more. Surely, digital appearances should help, right? On the personal branding side, although it seems like the D'Amelio family has done so much since Charli became famous on TikTok, everything they worked on somehow only made them less and less relevant.
Okay.
And less likable.
I don't know if maybe. I mean, I think that that's just natural. They become generally less relevant because I want to see where she's referencing that thing from. It's just the nature of content creation, especially with, people not being home, people going back to work after COVID.
Don't get me wrong, I respect the hustle of the family, where they really tried to emulate the Kardashian grind and did everything possible to stay relevant.
Yeah, they just don't have enough personality for it.
But they did not understand the
one of them needs to marry Kanye West.
Full price of monetizing your family and what it truly takes.
And it looks like they were trying to do vloggy type content and people just weren't necessarily as interested in this, especially months and months and months ago, where this type of content isn't generally going to do very well on YouTube. And this just comes down to a fundamental understanding of how like YouTube algorithms worked, and is that like shorter form content, which some of this is like from longer ago, isn't really super interesting to a lot of people. And they didn't keep up a consistent flow. Actually, they just didn't keep up a consistent amount of content after a while. They just kind of stopped making content. A lot of this is from a year ago, 11 months ago, 9 months ago. They're not really producing too much. And they just kind of stopped, I guess. I guess people just were bored of their shit. And then they threw out a Ford Mustang. Mach-E. Let's see what this is. Let's see. She got a Ford Mustang. Was it any night? What the fuck? Who's this kid? This isn't a Ford Mustang. Anyway, yeah, people fell off after COVID. Sorry.
For a family to become a money printing machine like the Kardashian clan. Either their team is very lazy or has no creativity.
Or there's just nothing to do with them because they've gone as far as they can.
Since blowing up, the D'Amelios launched a podcast because every other influencer under the sun did, called Two Chicks Podcast.
Yeah, they're not really interesting. There's really nothing there for them.
They made a total of 27 episodes before asking the question, is this what the girls actually want to do? And do they have anything to talk about? Dixie began doing music.
No, they don't.
And so did Charlie. They had their family YouTube channel, which had a lot of backlash since the first episode.
Yeah, it was a stupid backlash because they didn't like the taste of snails and people had a meltdown because for no reason.
Where the girls were seen as extremely rude, and in spite of a private chef-made meal,
The chef was the friend of this guy and they were all in on it and they were fucking around with the kids. It's not that deep.
Dixie threw it up in front of everyone,
Yeah, because it's a fucking snail.
and Charlie said it's better to get dino nuggets.
Yes, because Charlie is fucking weird and just eats dino nuggets and chicken and fucking macaroni and cheese because she's like autistic or something. I don't really know why. I don't really understand. Why aren't you telling me what it is? Wait, hold on.
Dixie first episode, where the girls were seen as extremely rude, and in spite of a private chef-made meal, Dixie threw it up in front of everyone, and Charlie said it's better to get dino nuggets.
Sometimes happens when. Oh god.
So dramatic.
Do we have any dino nuggets?
At this point,
Yeah, I think that like this sums up most of the video is that like there are some okay reasonable criticisms, but at the end of the day, the fact that she's not bringing up the fact that they were throwing up snails that the dad and chef were in on to like prank the kids into eating and tries to make it seem like, oh, they're so entitled. It just kind of shows the tone of this video from the start. It's not supposed to be a reasonable criticism. It's somebody that has a degree in marketing pretending that they know how to evaluate Charli D'Amelio when the reality is that they just fell off because TikTok fell off because people went back to work. And Charlie and Dixie aren't particularly interesting, but they're still doing decently. And Charlie, frankly, just wants to be a normal person. I know this because my wife forced me to watch the D'Amelio show. I watched a couple episodes of it. Charlie's a normal kid that happened to get famous, and now she's not that famous anymore. She still gets pretty good views on TikTok, but that's pretty much it. It's really not that deep. There's really nothing that they could have done to platform themselves up even more. Their time kind of ran out, and it is what it is. And I don't think that any marketing strategy could ever change that because they're not willing to fucking, leak a Kardashian sex tape in order to stay relevant. I think that's really all it is.
the D'Amelio brand was already out of touch with their audiences, who likely don't live in a large mansion with private chefs, but that's okay. They don't have to build a relatable brand. If they want to be more aspirational like Taylor Swift or Billie Eilish, they could keep their
Well, those people are talented. They're singers.
mystique and stop doing the mediocre family content. But no, the team behind the D'Amelios wanted them to be the Kardashians and put them on a reality TV show. Even
What else could they possibly do? Like, that's the real question. What else could they have possibly, what do you think they could have done? Not everybody can become famous. Not everybody's interesting enough.
after the YouTube family channel backlash, while they lacked the very
The YouTube family channel backlash was childish.
essential elements of the Kardashians to be interesting,
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. My diamond earring.
sex tapes, celebrity scandals, divorces, pregnancies, the D'Amelios are just too normal and unproblematic compared to other celebrities.
Yes, and that's a good thing, by the way.
The biggest drama they could pull is Charlie and Dixie hating each other.
No, I think it's so cute that you riding on my coattails like really worked out for you.
No, I mean, like, that
Jesus
was
Christ.
your whole life. I mean, 2 years compared to 18 is like really different.
Yeah.
Which is so hard to watch because it's not authentic.
I was caught off guard and
Yeah, it probably isn't authentic. It was probably forced.
then expected to be like, oh my god, this is so perfect. You know what? Why don't you put this song on my album and we could do it together?
And probably did damage their relationship as a family.
What the hell just happened? Like, I thought you were the only person I could really trust in the world. That's not fair to me. So how are we supposed to live with each other anymore?
In addition, the fact that almost every single episode was about the sisters facing hate from people on the internet due to their massive following and massive presence online is very jarring for the audience. Not saying that the hate they're dealing with
Well, I mean, they do get a lot of hate. It's true. This video is kind of like haterade here. Again, you just misrepresented their fucking YouTube private chef debacle.
but is
So-
not valid or important. But to their viewers who don't understand a life of never needing to work since 17, having the luxury of time to cry repeatedly in a mansion and complain is very off-putting, where there's a lack of awareness of privilege. The biggest challenge they have to face in life is the hate that come from having hundreds of millions of followers, where many cannot even afford a roof over their heads and have to stress about where the next meal is.
It's such a weird virtue signal. Like, here's the thing. Like I said, like, you're obviously very privileged if you're a content creator and you can make money doing it, 100%. But there is a unique type of stress that comes along with being like a popular content creator, and it's okay if she complains about that. And like this is like the litmus test for this creator. Like, if they ever like, you know, my video is not gonna, they're never gonna see it, but the litmus test is like, do you think Britney Spears had a justifiable crash out? That's the litmus test question. Right? Because she was being harassed by paparazzi. And I would say she did have a justifiable crash out. Right? Well, she was really popular and famous before she was like 16. So does she have the right to complain because she makes a lot of money and she's privileged? Yeah, we could still acknowledge that somebody who's extraordinarily privileged can still complain about some stuff. They can still be upset about things. You could also find it annoying whinging. But like, very clearly, there are times where even celebrities who make millions of dollars, who are very privileged, can have justifiable crash outs. Now, Britney Spears was much worse. You know, she was sexualized as a kid very publicly. I remember them like weird interviews with like talk show hosts talking about her body when she was like 16. Charli actually was sexualized as a kid too, not nearly to the same degree, but she still was, and she still got some criticism. And then that was like, for a normal person, it's not like easy to deal with criticism necessarily from everybody. It feels very overwhelming. I've been there before too, right? I'm still fucking privileged. I do well, but like, it's still, I could be like, hey, this sucks. It's not that big of a deal. So it's just kind of like this weird, annoying, like, oh, people hated her online and constantly criticized her as you make a video intentionally misrepresenting her. Wow, that's so dumb and immature. And she's privileged. It's like, okay, it's boring when you do like dumb shit like that. You know, she was a young kid that blew up fast. So I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's not that fucking deep. You know, she doesn't come off as an entitled person. She comes off as a little disconnected, but she doesn't come off as like entitled. The other one does. The sister does, but
Impression of Charli and Dixie not being appreciative of the capital, money, and power they have.
bro, you showed the snail. Look at this.
The impression of Charli and Dixie not being
This is her sniffing a snail and like throwing up. You know that it's a snail and you didn't bring it up. Whoa, balls.
appreciative of the capital, money, and power they have is not only unrelatable, but also unlikable. And if they're building brands after brands after brands that depend on their personal brand and people liking them, then if people don't like them, then of course the brands they release every few months flop. In addition to how each product has no soul or passion. Since the very start, except for maybe Charli and her dancing, there was not a soul or passion in every project that D'Amelios touched on.
D'Amelio footwear is recommended by doctors to treat broken ankles. Don't say that. You can't say that.
I'm not sure if Dixie D'Amelio
That's kind of funny.
even wanted to be a TikTok star or singer. While always
Dixie D'Amelio did want to be famous. I don't think Charli necessarily did.
being overshadowed by Charli.
It's always your time to shine.
When the entire enterprise was born because of the lucky, or perhaps unlucky, pretty privilege without a soulful connection, it is doomed to fail. As soon as the halo effect of a pretty face or body gets
I mean, yeah, a lot of times pretty people aren't particularly deep because they don't have to be. It's kind of how it is.
tiring and loses its shine. All in all, I do think Charli and Dixie are sweet girls and handle way too much pressure from their team and perhaps even their parents, who just
Wow. The video's almost over and now you're starting to be normal.
want to milk
I wonder why you left this in the end of the video.
the f out of their fame and youth. But like I said before, a brand cannot just be built in one day. And you can't just launch 20 things in 4 years hoping one will stick if you don't have an ounce
I
of
mean, you did say that one of those, the book was a New York Times bestseller, so it's a little tough to say that it was unsuccessful.
passion for any of them. So what does make sense for the D'Amelio brand, and how could they create something sustainable without further decreasing their likability?
They couldn't. They just can't. Like, they just couldn't do it. They're not interesting enough. I don't even know what to tell you. There's really not a whole lot. All they can really do from a marketing perspective is to maintain their TikTok by creating what got them popular and probably funneling that into something to sell, right? So they have their TikTok, which she still does pretty well. This is a 24 million view video, or 23 million views from like 2 days ago, right? Where you try to sell some shit. Yes, leave. What the fuck? Right? And then she probably does. Here we go. We got some footwear, which still seems to actually be successful. I mean, they're still selling this footwear. Oh, this is like a whole fucking manufacturer page for footwear. Wait, this actually probably is doing well. Oh, why did she make it seem like this failed? This seems to be doing well. Then she's selling... Oh, they're still selling half this shit. Oh, who says that this isn't popular? They're still selling this stuff? What the fuck is this? Oh, this is all the snacks. Wait, this seems like they're doing the right thing to do. It seems like mostly... What the fuck is this? This isn't even going. I'm not downloading an app. The Game Changer and live streaming. It seems like the only thing that they could really... This is the Hulu show. That they could really do is continue to make this and then just continue to plug their products. And right now, their two products that they have are shoes and popcorn. It seems to be the two only products. I don't know what the fuck this is. Oh, this is just more shit that they're selling. So this is, by the way, tacky as fuck. Get this. This is stupid. Don't do popcorn looking things. Just do a fucking pointer. Like, grow up. But that's pretty much all they can do is make this content and then just plug some of their other stuff, which seems to be doing decently well. It doesn't have to be amazing, but it's like a slow build. I mean, it would be entitled for them to instantly give up the second that their popcorn sales didn't reach #1. They're probably slowly selling in some areas. This is probably, they're doing the right thing to do. Thank you for the $5 from Little Amnesty. Every afternoon on your FYP, we'll be serving up the heat around 3:15 with double chunk chocolate cookies and chicken bakes. Incredible. Thank you so much.
First, they need to make a very conscious decision of whether they want to be influencers or celebrities, which are two very separate concepts. If they just want to play a role that is aspirational, then don't
This advice is like terrible. They're already engaging in probably the best content strategy that they could.
overexpose themselves by appearing
This video sucks.
on every show network possible. Keep the mystique. And if they want to be influencers, they need to be way more self-aware and aware of what is normal outside of their multi-million bubble. Stop pretending that they are just a normal family only worth $32 million in a mansion, and be more respectful towards the audience that they've been cashing out on. And stop contradicting themselves by stop pretending to be dramatic and problematic in their show.
They stopped their show in 2023. This video is from 3 months ago, which is still in 2024. They already have done, they stopped doing this dramatic show bullshit.
For the sake of views, and just stay true to who they are. And maybe
They're already doing that.
they don't care about music, popcorn, mattress, and
Well, they don't do the mattress, but why not care about the popcorn? And they don't do the music either.
that is okay. Which brings up second.
It's interesting that this person seems to have an unrealistic view of success when it comes to content creation in general. Because the D'Amelios aren't Kardashian famous, they're not successful. They definitely are not. I doubt that they're as successful now as they were 2 years ago. Again, during like more of the height of the pandemic when things were a lot crazier, things were shut down. But they went up and then they fell off, and now they're kind of curving out smooth and they're seeing where they go. That's normal for pretty much anybody that's doing any level of content creation. Not everybody is a #1 mega superstar. And for this person to just be looking at this I don't really understand the degree of this person, because all they seem to be able to do is look at the most famous people in any given category and go, if that's not you, you're failing. But especially now more than ever, people who are not even close to that level of success are still extraordinarily successful. You could do very well without having a massive amount of abundance, and understanding your lane and what your potential is the first step to figuring out where to go. And it seems like through the mistakes, Charli and Dixie D'Amelio have pretty much figured that out. So this girl is this is like a virtue signal. This is pretend. This person, I mean, they have a degree, but they don't seem to have ever used it. And they don't seem to have a particularly good understanding of like how being an influencer kind of works outside of I watch the Kardashians a lot. Like, honestly.
They need to stop launching brands. The next brand launch needs to be something so thoughtful and something they absolutely love. Because
they're doing popcorn and shoes, and they seem to be doing fine.
So much trust has already been lost. They need to let every
I don't think that much trust was lost.
ounce of the next
Hold on.
they absolutely love. Because so much trust
Okay.
has already been lost. They need to let every milliounce of the next product do.
I think they need to learn to ignore criticism from people who are unreasonable. If you watched her go to Walmart and thought that like she was having like the serious critique on capitalism or something, you probably are thinking too deep and you're not the target audience.
Show that they poured their soul and their heart into it. And maybe they're not passionate about anything right now, which is also okay. Do some soul searching first, then develop the product that their audiences actually need. And to be honest, if they don't care about products, they don't need to create one. There is already enough money to be made from working with existing brands that align with them. Third,
well, I doubt that Bunk Donut's really going to hire them right now because they're not as on top as they used to be. I don't think that they do Jesus Christ, the Charli drink anymore.
Sure about Dixie, but Charli's initial dream was related to dance, and her going on Dancing with the Stars was a great move. It just aligns so well with who she is at the core. Instead of starting drama just to start drama with Dixie about pursuing singing. Many people initially followed Charli because of the positive energy she brings, and maybe
Most people followed Charli because she was the thing that was happening in 2020 when everybody was home watching her content.
from dance she could
Like truly speaking, like if you're somebody that's, I don't know, that has pretend authority in marketing, I don't understand how you wouldn't be able to understand the massive increase in view and watch time during COVID having a profound impact on every creator that like really ever existed across any platform. How is she not aware of this? Like that had a lot to do with their spike in success, and that's going to have a lot to do with their decrease in success too. Because again, when people are watching like triple the amount of time, they're engaging with content triple the amount of time because they can't work and they're just sitting at home and they're fucking angry. You're obviously going to explode. But once that comes down, like you're going to hit a more realistic area. And if you don't know how to deal with that drop in viewership, you're like, that's going to be the killer as a content creator. And that's pretty much what a lot of content creators have went through after COVID was over, is like figuring out where they fit in and dealing with the stress of not being as popular as they were, because sometimes it's hard to understand why. But once you acknowledge that, you can go like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
could create a product that finally connects with her, that helps solve problems for her as a dancer, like gear that prevents dance injury that could eventually be pushed out to a broader athletic market.
What gear do you think that they could do?
Or dance athleisure that's extremely durable yet comfortable and cute during practice that could eventually become its own clothing line, instead of popcorn and mattress.
These are like shower thoughts.
With that being said, although times have changed and the D'Amelio sisters are highly unlikely to regain that surreal level of mass attention again, all they need to do is to build a stronger connection with their existing massive following instead of treating them like cash printing machines to feed soulless products to, and stop doing.
Oh yeah, this video is 3 months old, so I guess I should have looked at how Charli was doing 3 months ago. Let's see. This is 3 months old. We're in September 7th, I guess we would be at. Alright, this is a more realistic time. We're at 6:22. Yeah, she was still doing well here too. This is like sick. She's still pulling pretty good numbers here. 33 million views. 9, 10. She was still doing well at this point.
I guess.
And at this point, they're putting up things in 7-Eleven. They had just launched this. Wait, what the fuck? They just launched this brand around the time that this person released her video. Why are you criticizing their popcorn and making it seem like a failure? Wait, what the fuck? This is so weird. Her video is so unhinged. Whatever. This is such a bizarre person.
And saying problematic, offhanded things or complain about their privileges to be.
What problematic offhanded things do you think that she's
and
saying?
stop doing and saying problematic,
You're talking about this one, the snail incident?
offhanded things or complain about their privileges to be further disliked.
I really don't want to work anymore.
Based alert.
Pretty privilege can get you far, but cannot last a lifetime. Ultimately,
That's because people die and they get less pretty.
it still comes to good intentions, authenticity, and hard work to build a long-lasting brand, which I do believe the D'Amelio sisters are capable of and can have a rise to their careers again if they choose to use their influence for good impact. That's how to grow real influence instead of a pretty follower account. Let me know your thoughts if you think the D'Amelio brand was a flop or not, and comment below which celebrity you'd like me to analyze next through a marketing perspective. This is your marketing bestie, Zoe Unlimited. Share this video for impact.
This is tough. Terrible video. This video just kind of sucked. It just came off as very unrealistic, and this person apparently has never worked in marketing in their life. They might have a degree, but it's just like fucking boring. Like it completely disconnected from what the fuck's actually going on. But hey, that's just a theory. A Gooner theory. Okay.